Hey everybody, welcome back. My name's Jason. Thanks a lot for hitting me up with the questions, comments, encouragement. Today I'm doing a little something different. I'm doing what I would like to call a little therapy session. I'm going to put the story on hold. I would like to talk about some important things that have been on my mind, on my chest, kind of get my feelings out a little bit. So basically, first off, I'd like to talk about epidemic. What is an epidemic? So an epidemic is a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease in a community at a particular time. And basically, that's what's going on out in our community right now, an epidemic of heroin or drugs. And, you know, I ask myself, why am I here? Obviously, from my story so far, I survived an overdose. I've been through hell every night, day. Decided to make a change, and God has given me a gift. My higher power has given me a gift. He's blessed me, and in doing that, I needed to make a change, and I embraced adversity instead of running from it this time to drugs and alcohol. And my way of thinking has changed. My behavior has changed. And in doing that, it gives me the ability to help others while helping myself. It allows me to give others hope, faith, and courage that there is life after use. But something that I noticed the other day when I posted my story on Facebook was that I noticed that I had so many friends, and then after I tagged them, I went through and then I noticed I had less friends. Now the reason that I do this is to share my story and my life experience, because I'm fresh off the streets. I know what's going on out there in that epidemic. I know the hell that's going on out there. I know what people are doing to each other out there. I know what I was doing to people out there. I know what I was doing to my family, to my loved ones. So when I see that people are basically unfriending me, they're cheating themselves out of what's going on out there and the knowledge that they could inquire or achieve from my experience, just because they might feel that they don't need it or it doesn't apply to them, which I think is selfish, because addiction hits us all in one way or another, whether it's your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, your friend, whoever, your aunt, your uncle, whoever. It doesn't discriminate. And when I do these videos about signs and symptoms and what to look for, because that's knowledge on what to look for. Yeah, okay, you know, there's money missing, you know, not sexually active. I tried to bring back, you know, what to do for a child. You know, all I'm doing is trying to help. I hope people don't feel like, oh, he's taking me this post, that it's relevant to them or irrelevant to them because they don't use drugs. What are you going to do when you come home, your son, daughter, you go over by your cousin or your family member's house and somebody's overdosing? You know? What are you going to do? Yes, you're going to call 911, of course, but there are steps that you can take in that time when you're waiting for the ambulance. There's information that you can try and gather up to save lives. So what are you know, these videos are here to help, not to make people feel discriminated in any means at all. So you know, and that's another thing too. A lot of people message me and they say, dude, I didn't even know you had an addiction. I didn't even know you had a problem. That's why it's so important to know about these signs and symptoms and what to look for. They said, dude, if you would have had a problem, I would have helped you. I would have tried to help. You know? And kind of talking about in my story yesterday, you might have that unconditional surrender to get somebody into treatment, and then they might see that light and that there is a way of living after drug use besides just having them surrender on their own and go through all that pain. So yes, looking for those signs and symptoms, kind of, yes, guilt in them and getting that guilt in there, that could be a way, you know. Basically, it's addiction is so freaking hard, it's so tricky. Knowing the individual is key. Knowledge is key. It's half the battle. And like I said, it's an epidemic. It's on your doorstep. But you know, that's that. You know, I just really wanted to kind of speak out on that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was that you might sit here and say that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do. Like I said, I'm fresh off the streets, a couple months off the streets. And I lost my desire to use. It's just not a way of living for me anymore. Another topic I want to talk about is, you know, you might think, oh, that doesn't apply to me because he's on this level and he's doing these drugs, but I'm only doing these drugs. No. If you're doing drugs and alcohol, we're right here. We're at the same level. Don't get it twisted, because that's where everybody has it messed up. So, but yeah, so you get it twisted. You think I'm doing heroin, cocaine, this, and you're drinking. That's not a problem. But what I wanted to touch on real quick was I seen a post today on Facebook, and it was a disturbing post, and it was due to drinking. And there are two parties involved, and what it was one person tried playing the victim role, which, okay, they were the victim, but they put this post out there, and you know, I'm not taking sides for either party, but what happens when these posts come out is that self-pity, people feed into self-pity, which helps this person with this problem think that there isn't a problem. So this person keeps going along thinking that there isn't a problem because they feel like they're the victim when they need to be put in check and say, hey, you know what? Were you drinking too? Yes, okay, the other person was drinking, so both parties are at fault. You know, and not only that, but it fuels other people's anger, hatred, and then they take that hatred, project it onto other people, and that's why social media can be very dangerous. And according to People magazine, the article August 9, 2017, a person just died from a heroin overdose. Every 10 minutes, a person dies from a heroin overdose. Now, I'm going to bow my head for a second and pray for that person. Pray for that family, their friends. But this is what's happening. This is what's going on. And back to the social media thing, it's getting out of control. Yes, I was in a cloud for so long, and now I'm out of it. My way of thinking has changed, and I know what I'm here for. And you know, people get complacent in where they're at, and I know a lot of people fear change. And they don't want to go back. They don't want. They like to go to. They like that familiar pain. Because I know that's what I was used to. But they also fear change, and they fear a lot of those things that come with change, like loneliness, the fear of the unknown. But you know what? I feared all those things too, and I'm way happier now. And I know life's going to throw obstacles at me, but when they do, I'm going to embrace those obstacles and learn from them. Sometimes, yes, I might have to go through them, learn from them, but then you know what? I'm going to pass on that knowledge to others, to help them, to guide them. I'm not going to wallow in pain and hatred and piss and moan and ask why. No. I've been through too much pain. So I notice a lot of people take things for granted. And I still wake up and I cry every morning. You know, because God's gift that He gave me is a burden at the same time. It's a burden because I have the ability to help tons of people while I'm helping myself. But one false move, I could kill myself. And I have the ability to help nobody, not even myself. So, just be grateful for what you have in your life. Don't fear change. Embrace it. But that's just, I just wanted to get a few things off my chest, kind of let my feelings out a little bit, and I hope anybody can just take away whatever I let out. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. But thanks a lot. Stay blessed.
That hit me in the feels, man.